missing a year because of the lockout, the NBA All-Star Game is back, this time in Oakland for the 49th installment. The East leads the series 31-17, and they've won the last three. With Doug Collins, I'm Bob Costas. The All-Star Game is not your ordinary ball game, and neither will it be your ordinary broadcast. Several of the players are mic'd. We'll hear from them throughout the day. Let's check in on them now during the pregame warm-ups. There are 9 first-time All-Stars. 6 teams have 2 representatives. No team has more than 2. 18 of the 29 NBA teams are represented. 11, including the host team, Golden State, are without an All-Star.
And what a feeling it is to play in your first All-Star game. You know, you think you'll come in here and be pretty cool or whatever. You start seeing these guys come around, and that energy starts to build. And right now, you have some very excited guys out there for the first time as All-Stars. Joey
Crawford working with Terry Durham, and Joe Forte tosses it up. And the West controls the tip. Jason Kidd leading the NBA in assists. Off to Kevin Garnett. Kobe Bryant looking for his teammate Shaq against Mourning. Out of the double, back to Kobe. 3 seconds on the shot clock as he misses, and Duncan gives them a fresh 24. They won't use much of it. He banks it in.
Well, that's his signature shot. When he gets on the angle, he loves to use that backboard.
Iverson, the NBA's leading scorer, a 3-point per game edge over Shaquille O'Neal. He's averaging 31 a game to Shaq's 28. Vince Carter, last night's dunk champion, misses the jumper. Here's Garnett against Hill. Big size advantage. Shaq up on the offensive glass, and a foul.
See, there's the real problem. No, not so much the initial post-up, because you can run down their double team. The problem you have, Bob, is the offensive rebounds. And you can see Duncan, the first possession, with the offensive rebound. This time you see Shaquille with a second shot. You can see the size right there. The East really only 3 big guys, but really only 1 legitimate center in Mutombo. And how about the backup players on that Western bench? I would like to have the backup team to throw out there on my front line.
Dikembe Mutombo looking on. David Robinson. As Shaq bricked the first free throw. He's shooting 46% from the line. He misses them both. Shaquille O'Neal, though it defies logic, as good as he was to begin with, has improved defensively. His blocks are up, his rebounds are up. Iverson's jumper is off. Shaq clears the boards. Shaq's minutes played are up. If only he could improve his free throw shooting, he'd be one of the great players of all time if he isn't already. Garnett misses from 20 feet, and Mourning wrests the rebound away from Duncan. Poked out of bounds and touched last by the East.
You know, one thing you talk about to your team as a coach when they go out and say, guys, we want to have fun. Let's make spectacular plays. Let's not get too many turnovers. That's when the game gets sloppy.
Shaq backing in on Mourning. Garnett there with the follow.
So there's 3 offensive rebounds, and they've been able to convert 2 of them and get to the free throw line. The other 2, although Shaq missed.
Played nearly 2 minutes. The East has been blank so far, trailing 4-0. Iverson with the lob for Carter. A taste of what he did last night in perhaps the most spectacular slam dunk contest performance the league has ever seen. Here's Kobe slithering through. Then out to Duncan. Kobe in a crowd. Missing the fadeaway. Garnett slaps it outside, but Grant Hill has it. Off the backboard for nobody in particular. Kobe takes it. Mourning's the only man back and breaks up the attempted lob. Showtime already. Here's Iverson. Attempts a baseline reverse, and it's voided by Duncan.
See, these are plays that you would never see try to be made in a regular game. Iverson, what a tremendous play here. The backdoor slam, and you talked about it, Bob. What the show that Vince Carter put on last night in the slam dunk.
Alonzo Mourning with the miss, Shaq with the rebound, showing he has a handle. He brings it to the front court. Shaq inside double pump. Eddie Jones out of the pack with it, looking ahead for Carter. Watch out! Air Canada slams it down. Jason Kidd with the dish to Kevin Garnett. Now he has it back. Behind the back to O'Neal. Left hands it up. Now the putback. And there's a foul. It's offensive on Shaq, and the basket is taken away. The role of Jeff Van Gundy on the East bench and Phil Jackson for the West is simply to dole out minutes. There's obviously no coaching here.
Well, let's take a look of Vince Carter one time again in the open floor. This is what the people pay to see. This is a little bit of what you saw last night in the slam dunk competition. No one does it better in the NBA today.
Alonzo Mourning misses the baseline J. Here's Kobe on the move, canning the jumper.
A great elevation. He loves to curl those screens, Bob. He does that with the Lakers. Curls and gets in that lane. And at 6'7", he can elevate. And that time he shot over Grant Hill, 6'8".
Eddie Jones. Rebound to Duncan. Here's Garnett against Carter. Duncan in the lane, little floater good.
How about that catch? Tim Duncan, the soft hands, slicing to the basket. Normally he's the one getting double teamed. This time it was Garnett, and he got the field goal.
Duncan with 4 points now. Allen Iverson fakes the pass. Shaq swats it away. No goaltend. Carter's got it. Shot clock still running. Vince's three is off. Line drive rebound to Eddie Jones. Poked away from Carter back to Hill at midcourt. Are you following all this?
I'm listening good, Bob.
Here's Iverson from Carter. Count it plus the foul.
I'm letting you do your thing because there's so much action going on here. These guys are having a great time. Allen Iverson drives to the basket. I thought it was goaltending, just a slam by Shaq, and then the behind-the-back wrap-around pass out of the double team. The degree of difficulty up and under by Allen Iverson.
If this were gymnastics, there'd be a higher score than just the 3 points he got out of it. And if it were a game of horse, somebody on the West would have an H already. Duncan was fouled as he received the pass. West 8, East 7. We played 5 minutes.
You know, when you get a group of guys like this together, Bob, the thing that really jumps out to me is their tremendous pride they have in their ability to play. And yeah, they could be resting somewhere over the break. They are into this.
Kids lob for Garnett.
21, Kevin Garnett from Jason Kidd.
Pull-up jumper, Grant Hill, no good. Iverson and Kidd battling for the rebound. Iverson couldn't save it.
West team.
The West asked for time. 6:48 to play in the first. They lead it by 3. We'll catch our breath and return to Oakland with the 49th NBA All-Star Game after this.
Energy at an all-time high, the Timberwolves are having a howling good time. But can they keep their momentum with the Knicks brilliant at play? Find out on NBA Game of the Week. The Minnesota Timberwolves versus the New York Knicks. Thursday night at 9 o'clock.
Vince Carter, he's half man, half amazing. And he is doing it up here today. Spectacular play on the baseline, the reverse stomp from Iverson, the little 360 on the fast break, and he and Iverson are keeping his team into the game right now. They have 7 points between them on the West, Bob. The one thing they're doing, 6 offensive rebounds, so they've done a good job getting second shots.
Kidd pushes it up the floor, then tried to lob it for Shaq, but the East breaks it up. Here comes Iverson. Lays it off for Mourning, who scores with the left hand.
From Allen Iverson.
Kobe Bryant finds an opening. Swatted away by Mourning, who leads the league in blocked shots. Kobe's got it back for the slam. 2 years ago at Madison Square Garden, he was the youngest All-Star ever at age 19. Put on a show, but was benched in the fourth quarter by George Karl. Morning cans the J, because George felt he was taking the game over too much and was offending some of his veteran teammates.
I think he's learned from that experience. You're seeing Kobe play much more of a team game today than when he was put in a tough position that day, too, Bob.
Shaq missed the turnaround. Yeah, he had been virtually anointed as Michael's successor, and that was a bit much.
You know, he just wasn't ready for all that hype, but I tell you, he's a tremendous player. You see Grant Hill on the drive, and that morning shot right there, that little outside 12-footer pulling the center away from the basket.
Garnett on the run. Hits the pull-up. When you look at a guy 7 feet tall like Kevin Garnett, who can run the floor and handle the ball like he does, it's almost scary.
Well, I mean, he leads his team in 7 statistical categories. That's unheard of. Eddie Jones knocks down the 3. And I remember when Eddie Jones was out, his team was 2-8. They really missed him.
Duncan missing, following. Morning got a piece of it, but Duncan scores anyway. Here's Jones around his former Laker teammate Bryant. Iverson had it go off his hands, and it will belong to the West. They lead it 18-14. Now Gary Payton, an Oakland native, as is Jason Kidd, his West teammate, checks into the game.
And Vince Carter.
Well, you can see what Jeff Van Gundy's done also. He's put a big guy into the game, Dale Davis. So now Grant Hill is free. If you want to call it free to guard Garnett rather than Tim Duncan. I don't know what a break that is.
Allen Houston's in for Allen Iverson in the East backcourt. Jason Kidd for 3. Kidd freely refers to Gary Payton as his mentor. And Payton says, you know, when I first started playing against him on the playgrounds, he was a little soft. I put the ghetto in him.
Well, what you're also seeing with Jason Kidd is, in my estimation, he's become the best point guard in the game. Bobby rebounds, he defends, he pushes the ball up the floor, but now he makes shots and he makes free throws. He's worked to be able to make guys guard him out on the floor. Like, he can knock that shot down.
Yes, he can.
Jason Kidd.
From Payton. You've got the 2 best point guards in the league on the floor at the same time right now for the West.
And they're 6'5" and 6'6", so they're not little guys.
Here's Jones. Payton grabs the rebound. Looking for a teammate. Sometimes in these games, it's hard to figure out who they are. Kidd from 20. You know, I don't say that jokingly. Aren't there times in a game like this with the different uniforms where you might become confused?
It's been very hard because, you know, it's not like all of them are wearing the same colored jersey. You got green, you got purple, black out there. It's very difficult to distinguish. So it is hard when you're coming down, especially, Bob, the game is so fast. You get a glimpse and you want to give the ball to a player and you're not exactly sure.
It's dark and light uniforms, but some of the dark uniforms are more or less dark. Some of the light uniforms more or less light. 23-14 West. Mutombo and Miller in now for the East. Jump hook Shaq over Dikembe.
See, he's really improved his game there this year. He takes his time, and he's used to getting double and triple teams. That time, Mutombo plays him straight up. He just takes his time and buries the little hook.
Grant Hill threw the whistle, got the bounce, comes to the line.
And you talk about guys who've improved their game. Grant Hill had the opportunity to coach him for almost 3 years. And Bob, what he has done this last summer to work on his game, this is the great part of his game, the slashing and the cutting. But what he's done, he's added a 3-point shot. He's now over an 80% free throw shooter. So in essence, he has stretched the floor. So now when you try to play him out on the perimeter, he's going to beat you. I think he's the best one-on-one player in the game today.
And his image is so squeaky clean that Charles Barkley said recently, he's Theo Huxtable. He's straight out of the Cosby Show.
Well, he wants to win now. He's a champion at Duke, and he definitely wants to win. There's no question about that.
Duncan over Davis. The West by 10. Allen Houston's got daylight.
I tell you, I've seen that a lot. My first year coaching in Detroit, Grant Hill to Allen Houston. I can only imagine what those guys would have been like had they played together for 10 years.
Duncan screening for Payton. Now he has it back. Returns to Gary, who connects off the baseline in the West after a cold start has hit 12 of its last 15 field goal attempts. Grant Hill missing long, and Duncan pulls it down. Payton for Kidd. The lob to Garnett. But he couldn't quite finish it. Dale Davis up on the glass. He does all the dirty work for the Pacers.
Larry Bird told him, he said, I hope you don't think you're going to see the ball today. Just rebound and have fun.
Mutombo double team. Shaq swatted it away. Payton almost lost it. Now Kidd for three. Dale Davis another rebound in his first All-Star game after a distinguished 9-year career. Reggie Miller, the all-time leader in three-pointers, hits from beyond the arc.
That's a gimme for Reggie Miller. You give him that kind of time, and Grant Hill knew that. He got him right in rhythm and gave him an excellent pass.
Shaq spinning on Mutombo. Little jump hook, no. Davis another rebound. Mutombo may have traveled, no call. Dale Davis, well, he got a shot.
Well, that's an Indiana basket right there. And what I mean by that, that's the way he gets his points when he plays for the Pacers. Just grunt work inside, working hard, muscling inside.
Garnett lost it, poked away by Hill, into the hands of Miller. Reggie's pull-up three. And Garnett has the uncontested rebound. The lob intended for Shaq almost went in the basket. Shaq cleans up the mess.
How about the awareness of Shaq that time? He realized he couldn't get it, so he was going to hit the rim and put himself in a position to get the carom.
And the East asks for time. Dizzying pace with 1:07 remaining in the first quarter. West leads it by 7.
Grant Hill with a terrific, just easy little pass that time. Reggie Miller rolls the seams, gets it in his hand just the right way, lets it go. Nothing but the bottom of the net. And then Shaq on the possession was going to roll out and get a dunk, and he realized he can't get it. So watch him. He plays his ball for the carom. He sees it, great hands, reaches out, and then does what he does best, power dunk inside.
Rebound.
The East draws to within 5.
Front of the basket to Glenn Robinson.
Glenn Robinson just in the game, got the hoop. Here's John Stockton. Oldest All-Star on the floor, second oldest All-Star in NBA history. To his teammate Malone. Mutombo, the NBA's leading rebounder, pulled that one down. This time Robinson is off with the jumper. Back comes Payton. He's got Rasheed Wallace back, but Stockton on the wing takes it and lays it in.
Now watch Stockton's on the lane, filling lanes. Normally he's on the break. That time it was Payton down the middle. Stockton running. It looked like Stockton to Malone. That time Stockton gets the layup.
Last 12 seconds of the quarter. Allen Houston misses. Rasheed Wallace pulls it down. 6 seconds to get off a shot. In this game, that's an eternity. Payton for 3. Back rims it, and there's the buzzer. Pretty much what we expected. The West leads it 33-26 after 12 minutes in Oakland.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the All-Star 2000.
Here's Glenn Robinson of the Bucks in his first All-Star game in his 6th year in the league. The lob underneath is intended for Davis. Malone broke it up. Glenn Robinson, whom we mentioned a moment ago, obviously having a fine year, averaging 23 points a game. He was the first pick in the entire '94 draft, taken ahead of Grant Hill and Jason Kidd, and only now truly coming into his own. Davis with the turnaround. David Robinson clears the boards. Robinson screening for Payton. Stockton fakes the 3, pops the 2. Only Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at age 41 was older as an All-Star player. than the 37-year-old John Stockton this year.
Great shot fake that time by Stockton. This took his time. Another turnover here to the east, but that's one thing you want to be very careful about. Again, Bob is trying to make a pass that's not there. Reggie twice now trying to throw a pass that just didn't have a chance to get there.
West by 9. Payton can't increase it. Houston. Out of bounds. If it stays at that end of the floor, the East will keep it.
I got it. What's that?
Karl Malone in the game, and we go to Jim Gray.
Thanks, Bob. I had a chance to talk to Karl before the game. Of course, he missed the practice yesterday and has not been taking part of the festivities here. Really didn't want to come to the All-Star game. Wanted to be down with his family. Went down to Arkansas, did some hunting and some fishing, took care of his family, came up here. He said it was his intention all the time to show up for the game. He wanted to rest some of his injuries. His back is feeling better. He hasn't missed any regular season games. He says he's sorry for the whole misunderstanding and really the threat of the suspension and the fine probably is what played a big part in his showing up today. And as far as not wanting to play another All-Star game since his little tiff with Kobe Bryant a couple of years ago, he said, let's let bygones be bygones. It was just the heat of a moment thing. He has nothing against Kobe and is actually happy to be playing with him.
Jim, thank you. There was a threatened 5-game suspension, which might have provided some impetus for Karl to show up, but his wallet will be a bit lighter because he will be fined for getting here so late. He didn't take part in any of the activities, the press events or anything else, prior to today's game. Mutombo got the basket at the other end a moment ago. West lead down to 7, and Stockton makes it 9. He was the co-MVP of the '93 game, played at the Delta Center in Salt Lake with his teammate Malone. Robinson tries the up and under between two defenders. Davis on the offensive glass to his teammate Miller, who misses the 3. Touched last by David Robinson, and the East will keep it. 9:56 to play in the first half. We'll be right back.
NBA's finest make their all-star mark. Celebrities put their reputations on the line as they showcase their shooting talent at the NBA Special, NBA All-Star 2000, Friday evening at 6:30.
As we return to the All-Star game, let's listen to Jason Kidd.
You know it's coming. Oh, get out on Reggie. Over the back.
Well, I think Jason Kidd sets it best right there. You know it's coming, but you just can't stop it. He faces it all the time in the West. Stockton and Malone. You cover Stockton, he gets to Malone. At that time, he took it all the way to the basket himself. Stockton to the layup.
Quick jumper by Glenn Robinson off the inbound is no good. Loose ball scooped up by the Mavericks might be Finley to Rasheed Wallace right through his hands. During the break, there was a video tribute here in the arena to the late Wilt Chamberlain. A hush fell over the sellout crowd, and all the players stopped what they were doing in the coaching staffs and looked up respectfully at the video screen overhead. Gary Payton commits his first foul. The West leads it by 9. Allen Houston goes to the line.
Bob, as he gets ready to shoot these 2 free throws, you know, when you watch Allen Houston play this year, the one thing I'd like to see him do more of in New York is just exactly what he did there. Drive that ball in there and create a foul. For the new rules, the hand checking, he needs to be able to get to the free throw line more often. He only shoots about 4 free throws a game. You start talking about Grant Hill, Jerry Stackhouse, Iverson. These guys are making 8 to 10 free throws a game. That could really help his team.
Payton, Wallace, Finley, Robinson, Weber on the floor now for the West. Here is Finley. Jumper off the baseline, got it. Referred to recently by Sports Illustrated as a triple-double waiting to happen.
Well, I love Michael Finley. You see Payton with the steal. I've known Michael since he was in high school. He is a terrific player, great energy, and it's great to see him being recognized today.
Houston leaves the bounce pass for Reggie Miller, who drew the foul. He's so good at that. leaning into somebody, not for a makeable shot, but to draw the contact.
David Robinson commits his first personal foul, second team foul. Number 34, Ray Allen replaces number 20, Alan Houston. Reggie Miller to the line.
Reggie Miller playing in his 5th All-Star game. In this, his 13th season in the league at age 34. Hits the first. Payton guarded by Ray Allen of the Bucks, who has made his first appearance. In the lane to Weber. His fall away won't go. Chase to the side, out of bounds, and Joey Crawford says it's East ball.
Rotate.
Allen's pass off the hands of his teammate Glenn Robinson. Robinson recovers it, gets it to Reggie Miller. Outside to Allen for 3. Right into the hands of Dale Davis, who scores.
He has 2 field goals where he has just been in the right spot at the right time. Dale Davis, again, since Dale Davis and Mutombo have gone in the game, the front line has been able to rebound and defend much better with a little size in there.
David Robinson, the Admiral, misses from 20 feet. Just for matchup purposes, Dale Davis is probably going to play a disproportionate number of minutes in this game. Out of bounds, it'll still belong to the East. They've closed the deficit to 5. Here comes Jerry Stackhouse into the game. Stackhouse a year ago averaged 14 points. This year he's upped it to 23. This is a breakout season for the former North Carolina Tar Heel.
Well, I'm really happy for Jerry. You know, he went to Detroit in a trade, and I was part of getting him there. And he had to sit on the bench for a couple years behind Joe Dumars. And he'd never come off the bench before. He really struggled with that. Now with Joe D being retired and him starting, he and Grant Hill are thriving in the backcourt together.
Ray Allen's jumper makes it a 3-point game. And now Allen with the steal. To Robinson, and the 2 Bucks team up to slice the lead to 1.
You can see the ball handling skills of Ray Allen. George Karl has been using him as a backup point guard to Sam Cassell over the last few weeks, so he's doing much more handling of the ball than he did earlier in the season.
East's on an 8-0 run right now. Here's Finley. Puts an end to that.
Now, the reason he wasn't a lottery pick coming out of college is because people didn't think he could do that. He had a miserably shooting year his senior year at Wisconsin and drafted much lower than he should have been. Much better shooter than what he did his senior year in college.
Ray Allen can't connect on the 3. Finley takes the lob from Payton and lays it in. Michael Finley, so versatile, can play small forward, both guard spots, leads the league in minutes played. Stackhouse, a step inside the line, hits a 2-pointer. Here's Payton with the stutter step move. Back up top to Weber. Short with the 3. Finley tried to tap the rebound to Wallace. It was broken up. And now Robinson takes it right back. Weber's got Payton on his left. Wallace trailing the play. I don't know what some of this stuff is. Here's Miller for 3. That's a more familiar sight, but he missed it. Now he steals it out near midcourt. Allen's got all the room he needs, but still misses the 3-pointer.
Gary Payton says, let's slow it down. Let's get a shot here. I think they're going to try to come down and get a timeout. Too many turnovers here.
Kevin Garnett and Jason Kidd return. Along with number 8,
Here's Kobe Bryant back in. His 3-pointer is there.
Kobe for 3.
Phil Jackson, his Laker coach and all-star coach, says, I vacillate between wanting to spank him and pat him on the back. I think it's the latter more often than not.
I would agree with that, and I think that Kobe is doing a good job getting into the system, the triangle offense, the defensive concepts that Phil has put in. They are a definite threat to win the championship this year. Them and Portland, you'd have to say right now, have the edge as the 2 best teams in the league at this point in the season, Bob.
Here's Ray Allen spinning and missing the double pump. Rebound battle. Robinson tried to save it. It's off Allen's hands, and it will go to the West. You know, speaking of the Lakers' title chances, you look at Eddie Jones out on the floor right now. Don't they wish they had him back?
Oh, I would think. Can you imagine Eddie Jones and Eldon Campbell on that team right now? I mean, this time last year they were trying to trade for Glenn Rice. Now they're talking about trading him. So I think if they could do it all over again, they would definitely like to have Eddie Jones on their team.
Robinson rebounds Weber's miss. Mourning with the hook. He was fouled, and he'll come to the line. You know, to tell you the truth, and this is no disrespect intended toward Glenn Rice, it's just a matter of what fits. I'll bet the Lakers would be happy to trade Glenn Rice even up, not just for Eddie Jones, but for Eldon Campbell to get him back.
Well, they've talked so much about how they need another bigger player, another power forward, another big body to go with Shaq. But we've talked about, we've done a couple games where Shaq has played the entire game, 48 minutes, 55 minutes, and you have to be concerned about wearing a guy down during the course of the season. Eldon Campbell can also play backup center. So definitely a trade I'm sure that they would love to do over again.
Alonzo Mourning hit the first. Phil Jackson coaching the All-Star game for the third time. Mourning, last year's NBA Defensive Player of the Year, called by his coach Pat Riley the best shot blocker since Bill Russell. Garnett surrounded, out to Kidd. And a foul as Mourning reached in. Iverson was also there.
Number 33, Alonzo Mourning.
It's the second on Zoe.
Second personal foul. Second team foul on the Eastern Conference.
Rasheed Wallace brings it in. Wallace is Portland's only All-Star. Ray Allen with the steal. Kidd trying to head him off, but Allen takes it home for the emphatic slam.
Played the passing lane beautifully. That time, Jason Kidd just floated that ball out there. Ray Allen read it beautifully, cut right into the lane, took it to the other end for the score.
Kidd with the size advantage on Iverson finds Weber, and Chris, who's an MVP candidate, hits his first basket.
I've been waiting to see what the reaction would be from these Golden State fans with Chris Weber. Really hasn't been too much right now, Bob. It's almost like he's just another guy out there, not a guy who was a great player here at one time.
And Ray Allen connects from beyond the arc.
Number 34, Ray Allen.
Here's Kobe's fadeaway. Weber trying to follow and can't. Now it's Garnett. And finally, Weber stuffs it home.
See, Alonzo Mourning's in there by himself trying to rebound against three players right now. They've gone small once again in the East, resting Mutombo and Dale Davis.
Iverson pops it out to Allen. Allen's off with that one. Mourning is there on the offensive glass.
Now that's right there is Zoe in a microcosm. Just a relentless player. That was just hustle and sheer energy and power. Ray Allen's going to miss this jump shot, and Zoe just wants this ball more than anybody else. He goes in there, rips it away, and goes up with power and authority over Rasheed Wallace, who's a terrific defensive player. That is right there who Alonzo Mourning is, the tenacity, the effort. He epitomizes what that Miami Heat team is all about.
Kobe Bryant, a long three. Vince Carter the rebound. Stackhouse for Allen, and Ray Allen blows the dunk. Shaquille O'Neal enjoying this part of it. Goes all the way. Stackhouse back. Broken up by Duncan. Here's Kidd. Allen's the only man back. The dish to Shaq. Look out below.
Wow, why didn't that guy step in and take a charge on that possession before? Come on, step over there, take it for your team.
Hey, that's what I would have done.
Hey, take a charge.
Take a charge and take a trip to the disabled list.
No kidding.
Meanwhile, Allen Iverson, the league's leading scorer, pops home a couple. It's 54-50 if you're keeping track, which is hard to do in this one. Iverson spins around a fallen Kidd. Behind the back to Carter.
Vince Carter.
Here's Kobe Bryant. His flip to Garnett, who was fouled, which allows everyone to catch their breath, fans included.
Bob, is it me or is the energy level of this game doubled in about the last 3 minutes? Here's the play I was talking about. Come on, Vince, step in there and take the charge. Little finger roll by Shaquille O'Neal. And then Shaq, this time, this is more Shaquille-like. Jason Kidd takes it in. Ray Allen is back. He says, I'm getting out of the way here. Look out below from Shaquille O'Neal. Vince Carter running the lane, and the most impressive thing about this play was the catch. Watch the play. He reaches behind him, catches, goes around Garnett, and the beautiful finish. Like a ballet dancer right here. Vince Carter, we see the slams this time, the beautiful finger roll fading away from the defense.
No. Not when you put two hands on the ball and regathering your steps. Stop for what? Well, that's why I kept running. Good shot, KG.
Garnett knocks the free throws down. And back comes Iverson, smiling at Kidd, who's guarding him. Here's Carter. Missing the jumper there, and Kidd taps the rebound to Shaq. Although Carter misfired there, his jumper keeps getting better and better. And when you combine that with his forays to the basket and his strength and ability to post up, it's made him a more complete player. Shaquille's turnaround doesn't get the bounce. Here's Iverson. On the move, Shaq knocks it away again, his third block. Here comes Kobe sprinting back for Garnett.
You know, Bob, that is so good. These guys are so good. First of all, the speed of Kobe Bryant to chase that ball down. He kicks it back, he sees Garnett, and then a tremendous catch.
Iverson.
We've seen Allen Iverson. Now, we saw him take 40 shots last weekend in Philadelphia. He's not bashful. If he gets 2 or 3 blocked, Bob, that's not going to discourage him. He's going to come back for more.
Kidd lobbed it up there for Shaq. The basket support is still shaking.
Now, you guard that. Now, you tell me how you can possibly defend that.
That might be classified as unstoppable. A whistle as Iverson makes his move.
The speed of Kobe Bryant on this play. Ray Allen tracking him down, but look at the catch here, and then the beautiful finish as he gets his steps together. Now, those are the things, you know, you see the finish, but you don't realize what the guy has to do to be able to make that play initially, to be able to get to the basket.
With Ray Allen Iverson, 2 shots.
So here's Iverson, who seems destined to lead the league in scoring for the 2nd straight year, and yet this is his first All-Star appearance. He also was not named to the Olympic team. Neither was Vince Carter.
You know, Bob, in fairness to Allen Iverson, the team he's on right now, he has to take shots. The majority of the guys that are on his team are not primary offensive options. He's doing what that team needs to win. For there to be a championship team, they're going to have to get another score. There's no question.
Kevin Garnett slamming over Mourning. Here's Ray Allen. Squirted out of his hand as he took it to the hoop, but there was contact and a foul.
Kevin Garnett commits his first personal foul. Back in the final 2 minutes of the period. Ray Allen to the line.
Ray Allen, who will be on the Olympic squad in Sydney in September, hits the first. Allen is obviously a very good player. His selection over the likes of Vince Carter and Allen Iverson stirred some controversy.
Well, I think right now they feel like that Ray Allen is a better shooter, something that they need on that team, more shooting in case they face zones. I mean, nobody's going to be within 30 of them anyway during the Olympics, but I think they felt like they wanted another shooter on the team.
Kidd chasing after the potential steal, but couldn't save it. He already has 9 assists. He averages 10 a game during the regular season to lead the league. Last minute of the first half. West by 5. Stackhouse can't cut into it. And Kidd claims the loose ball. Kobe Bryant shaking on Allen and missing from the head of the key. Duncan the rebound and the putback.
There's old school right there. Tim Duncan didn't even leave his feet. The old ball fake. Guy goes for it. He lays it in the basket.
Iverson, last couple of seconds. Lays it off to Vince Carter, and that ought to be the last bucket. Jason Kidd out of the corner at the buzzer. And we've got a 5-point game at the half. Garnett had 12, so did Shaq. Duncan also in double figures with 10 for the West. And they lead it by 5. Stay tuned for Net Zero at the half. You're watching the NBA All-Star Game on NBC.
Sorry about that, Mark.
Vince Carter had 8 points in the first half, but he became a star on this All-Star weekend last night, Doug.
Well, you can't describe these dunks, what this man did. He had the crowd in the palm of his hand. Watch this one bounce between his leg, the windmill dunk. He was absolutely terrific. He had the charisma, the energy, and he just captured the crowd and was a very, very popular winner last night. By a landslide, I should say.
You look at his entire game. The slam dunk contest with all the highlights, not just in the live airing, but all the highlights later on the various shows on broadcast TV and cable have really put him into the consciousness now of casual fans, not just rabid basketball fans. But it isn't just his dunking, as stunning as that is. He's a good rebounder. He's a good defender. In his 2 years in the league, he's become a better ball handler, a better outside shooter. This guy's a coming star if he isn't a superstar already.
Well, and also, too, his team, Toronto, is probably going to make the playoffs this year, which is another thing. You see them hugging Magic Johnson. But, you know, the thing that amazes me about Vince Carter is when you see him in person, Bob, is the power and the strength that this man has as an athlete. You know, sometimes that gets lost on television. But yesterday in that slam dunk, he did it so easily. He didn't even break a sweat in competition.
Many fans still in the aisles trying to find their seats. Third quarter begins. Here's Eddie Jones for the East. They trail it by 5. Grant Hill, Duncan guarding him. Mourning, working on Shaq. Nice move to lose him.
Actually got 2 guys in the air that time, and then the great up and under fake by Mourning got him the slam dunk.
Zoe, who's really outmanned by the much larger West front line, has played a good game. He has 9 points. Kidd cross court to Garnett. O'Neal grabs it.
Look at the look on Vince Carter's face trying to hold him out.
Well, they came over and doubled, and Garnett was free. 14 points now for Kevin Garnett. Iverson got a screen from Mourning. Kidd with the lob intended for Duncan, and he banked it in.
That's got to be a 3-point basket right there.
Yes, it does. Absolutely. Go figure.
And the last basket to Jason Kidd.
Eddie Jones was fouled by his former teammate and close friend, Kobe Bryant.
Well, if they credit this to Jason Kidd, as the PA announcer did, it's got to be a 3-point basket. You see as this ball goes up, actually he guides that ball into the basket. So that's either a 3-point basket or offensive goaltending.
It's the former. They count it as a 3-pointer. Carter with an acrobatic move. Missed by a mile, but the second try is clean.
Well, that's what you talked about with Vince Carter right there, that fading jump shot that he is so good at doing now, or creating distance with a defender. Grant Hill looked over at me at halftime. He said, I'm out of shape. He said, I only played about 10 minutes. I can't keep up with these guys today, the pace of this game.
Iverson bouncing to Mourning. His turnaround fadeaway is good. So with 11, the East trails by 4. Shaq can't answer, doesn't get the roll. Iverson on the wing. Goes past O'Neal and finds Mourning.
I think we've seen that in Georgetown over the summer. A little Iverson dish to Mourning for the little dunk.
There are 3 former Hoyas in this game, Mourning, Iverson, and Mutombo for the East. Also 3 former North Carolina players. Shaquille O'Neal couldn't finish it. Garnett can.
21, Kevin Garnett.
And he's pouring it on now with 16. Eddie Jones, a 15-point career scorer coming into this year, averaging better than 20 this season for the Hornets. Bryant's 3 is off. Back comes the East. Hill lobs it up to no one in particular. Shaq has it all to himself.
A Shaq slam.
Grant Hill's tried that same pass twice, and both times it's ended in dunks for the other team, not his own.
Garnett rebounds Mourning's miss. Kidd to Shaq. Give him plenty of room. He's got 16.
You know, it's amazing, Bob. If this guy shot free throws at a 50% clip, 60, but they could hand him the MVP trophy right now. The only thing that will prevent him from winning it is his free throw shooting if it costs him a championship, because he is so dominant in what he's done for his team this year.
Jason Kidd at high speed. Duncan.
Tim Duncan from Jason Kidd.
Kidd picks up the assist on the flip off the glass. Iverson scrambling to the floor. Loose ball picked up by Kobe Bryant. Duncan. Kobe with a hook.
A little sky hook by Kobe. Bringing out the Kareem.
And he points at Magic Johnson, who's seated courtside as he comes back the other way. Is that how your buddy Kareem used to do it? Here's Eddie Jones. Out to Iverson, who drills a 3. Come to think of it, that's how Magic used to do it. Not the jumper, but the baby hook. Especially the one that killed the Celtics in the '87 finals.
Absolutely, that little runner across the lane that knocked the Celtics out.
Here's Jason Kidd, who has 11 assists. The West leads by 7. Duncan, no look pass to Garnett.
21,
See, the
Kevin
amazing thing,
Garnett.
Garnett and Duncan, I mean, the skill that these guys have as big people.
Iverson challenges Garnett, had to arc it high and missed it. Eddie Jones, who leads the league in steals, picks that one off. Broke it up. Carter touched it last. West ball. Garnett wastes no time. Baseball pass to Shaq. He takes it in for the missed layup, but Duncan is there to follow. Duncan has 14. Garnett's the game's high man with 18. Shaq has 16. And Bryant has the steal. Kidd from Garnett. KG's got it back. And it's rejected resoundingly by Mourning. Grant Hill.
33, Grant Hill.
83-74. Just under 7 minutes to play in the third quarter.
What do you think, about 150 today, Bob?
Maybe not quite that much, but well into triple digits. Shaq squirts out of his hands. Iverson's got it. 3-on-2 break. Iverson decides he doesn't need the other 2, and he was fouled.
Lakers show here in the third period. First, it's going to be Shaquille O'Neal out on the wing on the break. We've seen this about 3 or 4 times today with the monster dunk by Shaq. And then Kobe says, get me in the basket here, get me in the post. Magic, this little baby hook is for you. This way you used to do it over Kevin McHale, wasn't it, against Boston? He runs down the floor, he acknowledges, he says, I know the history of the Lakers. Magic, I've seen you do that before.
Game 4 of the '87 finals, one of the biggest shots in NBA history. You're watching the All-Star Game on NBC.
Have you ever played against a player and the player's just too fly? Tim Duncan from the Spurs party people, and I'm just that type of guy. Now when you go inside to test your skills, know what you are going against? An unguardable center, with championship rings, my brother, it don't make sense. Though many people try and try, they probably never win this war. Cause motivation is rings on my fingers, that's what I'm playing for.
Bill Russell, who grew up in the Oakland area and celebrated his 66th birthday yesterday, seated courtside. Rick Barry led the league in scoring as a Warrior, led them to the league title in '75. And Michael Jordan, now the president of the Wizards, MVP of the most recent NBA All-Star game 2 years ago, his last, the third time he was the MVP of this game.
Bob, when I was coaching in '97 in Cleveland, we got down about 20 at about the 8-minute mark of the second quarter, and I called a timeout and I brought the guys over and I was saying, come on guys, let's play, we're behind here, whatever. I looked at Michael, I said, Michael, you know the winner gets 12,000, the loser 6,000. Oh, it is? So let's win. So now in about 5-minute period of time, it's a 2-point game. We went on to win that game by about 15.
Duncan, one of his specialties, kisses it in off the glass. But in truth, the $6,000 difference is a petty cash poker game for Michael. Here's Bryant. Jason Kidd with the assist. That's his 12th. Jason Kidd is playing in his third All-Star game. He's had big assist numbers in all of them. The West lead is 11.
Kobe, you got no shot to get a charge today. This is an All-Star. No goaltending, no charges. You better get up. Eddie Jones is even laughing like, they're going to flop on me today.
Eddie drained the 3 to make it an 8-point game. Bryant can't do the same at the other end. Mourning with the rebound. Jones again for 3. Iverson takes the rebound, returns it to Eddie. Back to Allen for the jam. Iverson now has 15 points, averaging 31 plus for the season and taking 26 shots a game. By far the most shots per game of any player in the league. 6 more than Vince Carter, who's second in the league, averaging 20 attempts per contest. Bryant spinning, handing to Shaq.
Shaq from Kobe.
And he's got 18. This is an exhibition. It's about highlights more than the final score, but the matchups, as we mentioned, favored the West with the big front line and the true point guards in the backcourt. And the numbers reflect that, which we'll pass along in a minute. Hill pumps up a 3. Mourning is there to give them a fresh 24. Returns it to Grant for the slam.
33 from 33. Grant Hill.
Tim Duncan has 16 points, 9 rebounds. Garnett 18 and 7. Shaq 18 and 8. And Jason Kidd has a dozen assists. So the big front line and the true point guards in the backcourt helping the West out here. They lead it by 6. Garnett. Eddie Jones, good rebounder for a guard. Had it knocked away after pulling in the rebound. And it will belong to the East. Don't forget to log on to NBA.com and cast your vote for MVP. At the end of the telecast, we'll tell you the fans' choice for the most valuable player of this All-Star game.
Grant Hill and Alonzo Mourning.
Terry Stackhouse just in to Mutombo, who has replaced Mourning at center. Running hook is good over Shaq.
Dikembe loves that little block over there, Bobby. Let's take that one dribble, that big, long step, and by the time he shoots it, he's almost on the other side of the lane.
Kobe working on Jones and slicing through for the miss. Here comes Iverson, splitting the defense and taking it all the way to the rack. Iverson with 17. He predictably is the East High scorer. Generally speaking, All-Star games are guard dominated. Here's Shaq. Try it again, and this time he makes sure.
Poor Jerry Stackhouse, he broke his shoulder on that rebound. Shaq spun the other way to try to kiss it off the glass and came down and got his own miss.
Iverson is short. Inside 3 minutes to play in the third. Garnett backs off to make it a 3, but can't hit it. Iverson, the lob underneath for Stackhouse, who finishes it.
How about last night, Jerry Stackhouse in the dunk contest had to follow Vince Carter. I said that would almost be like in a comedy club and having to follow up against Robin Williams or in a home run hitting contest following Mark McGuire. He had no chance last night.
The contest was over after Carter's first attempt. Broken up in the lane. Iverson with the steal. It's a 3-on-1 break. Garnett, the only man back. He got a hand on it. What's Iverson going to do? It's anybody's guess. Stackhouse the jumper. It's a two-pointer just inside the arc. A two-point game with 2 minutes left. Actually, that tied the game. Tied the game at 91. Garnett from O'Neal. Goes to the left hand.
And how about he had the shot blocker Mutombo, and he bumped him just enough to use that offhand.
Stackhouse again, but this time he can't finish it. Iverson had set him up just as he did a moment ago. O'Neal pops a jumper.
Well, if he's going to make that shot, I mean, you know he can dunk and he can get in the lane, but if he's going to make that little jump shot.
And Shaq is now the game's high scorer with 22. The East asks for time. They trail it by 4.
Watch Shaquille O'Neal now. He's going to spin, actually goes back the other way. Misses it. Now watch him come down on Jerry Stackhouse. Just pummels him with his left shoulder. Stack says, what hit me? And then Allen Iverson back the other way. Coming on the fast break, you see the alley-oop pass. And a great finish there by Jerry Stackhouse. He could have used him as a prop last night in the slam dunk competition.
You know, they should just play this playground rules. Make it, take it, and another 5 waiting out of bounds. They got next. Throughout the game, fans can hear live, continuous audio from both East and West All-Stars. You can get it on NBA.com. Some numbers: Iverson, 17 points, 8 assists. Shaq, 22 points, 10 of them in this third quarter. Jason Kidd, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 13 assists. Ray Allen back in. Inbounds to Stackhouse. Quickly to the hoop for the reverse.
Wow, how about Jerry Stackhouse taking it to the other side? What an impressive play.
The West by a bucket.
In the West lineup, number 20.
Michael Finley to Chris Webber.
Number 4, Chris Webber.
Webber, the former Warrior. Cross court to Kidd, and Jason Kidd misses the 3.
Ready for the East, number 34, Ray Allen. Number 31, Reggie Miller.
Ray Allen from Reggie Miller against Finley. Drills it.
Ray Allen.
And we're tied again at 95.
Ray Allen really played well off the bench. He and Glenn Robinson in that first half really gave them a lift. Let's see if they can do the same here as we finish up this third period.
Off Mutombo's hands. Take it back. Touch last by the West. Here comes the East in possession. Allen to Robinson. Glenn Robinson sets himself and hits a 2-pointer.
I would say those guys have a little chemistry with each other. That time, Ray Allen knew exactly where his teammate Glenn Robinson was on the floor.
The East has its first lead in the waning seconds of the third. Webber to Duncan, and it's tied again.
The guy is an unbelievable pass for a big man. He came in that first period and really didn't get into the game, Bob. I expect him to play much better this time around.
Ray Allen with the floater. Can't hit it off the glass. Webber coming back. 8 seconds to get off a shot. Stackhouse reached in and fouled him.
Number 42, Jerry Stackhouse.
Chris Webber sees so many double teams. This time he wraps it around, and Tim Duncan does a nice job cutting to the basket. The great finish. And Dikembe says, look, I don't need you to double team me. I'm a shot blocker.
Here's Payton with the left hand. Weber with the follow at the buzzer. Got it!
Play with more energy this time. The first time he came in, he wasn't really into the game. He wants to play well here at Golden State. Sacramento right up the road.
The West will take a 2-point lead into the fourth.
Great little fading jump shot that time by Chris Webber. The soft touch, the kind rim. 2 nice back-to-back plays in a row by Chris Webber.
And we'll be back after these words from your local station. You're watching the NBA All-Star Game.
I could see Kobe needed something lucky, so I told him about my socks.
You heard about my lucky socks?
Those your socks right there?
3 city championships. You know what? Here.
Oh, man, now you're going to have this whole thing smelling like nachos.
He just had to have them.
I'll trade you my lucky socks.
What I'm going to do with that? You want me to hold that?
Hold it.
You sure?
Feel the luck.
championships, MVPs, you know, it's all going to be because of my socks.
Man, the luck is all in your game and how hard you work.
All right, thank you, Bob. Over here on the East bench with Allen Iverson. Allen, you guys have battled back the entire game. We're going to see any defense here in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, hopefully. We're going to have to play some defense against these guys to try to get a win. So in this quarter, we're going to try to buckle down and get the victory for the East.
You ever thrown this many lobs before?
Yeah, this summer I played in Magic game. I threw like 10 or 15 events. But, I mean, they've been taking them away from them tonight.
Is this the most fun that you've had in a basketball game?
It ranks up there. You know, I have my most fun when I'm playing with my team in Philly. But it ranks up there big time. This is the most talented, though.
You were talking about when you were a kid growing up watching the All-Star game. Is this what you thought it would be, A, and B? What do you remember most of those games?
I just remember the showmanship, you know, everything, every player from, you know, Michael to Isaiah and Magic and Larry Bird. You know, it was fun watching me. And then before those guys, Doc. So I'm just having a good time. I feel good just to be a part of this, man.
All right, we're going to let you get back into the game. Appreciate your time, Allen.
You better get off the bench where they put you in.
I don't have my jersey tonight. Thanks, Allen. Back to you, Bob.
Then we would know that things were truly out of control. Here's Stockton. And John Stockton.
He's 4 for 4 today. He's come off the bench. He played 3 minutes in the first half, had 6 points, now a minute here, so he's got 8 quick points. Stockton usually doesn't look to shoot the ball that much.
The oldest All-Star at 37 and his 10th Classic. Perfect from the floor. Off the Glenn Robinson miss. Here comes Gary Payton. Payton with the lob to Rasheed Wallace, but he can't quite control it. A note from the East bench. Grant Hill lost a contact lens, doesn't have a backup. He won't play the rest of the game. He logged 19 minutes and scored 7 points. We just hope he can find the team bus. Off the steal, here comes Stockton. Weber to the hole, but he lost it. Might have been touched last by the East, and it was. So Grant Hill is a squinting spectator at this point. Rasheed Wallace. Trying to follow his own miss, but can't come up with it. Jerry Stackhouse. Glenn Robinson. And the big dog drills it.
Bob, I'm not sure that Glenn Robinson's not the best medium-range jump shooter in the game. I'm talking about 15 to 18 feet. You give him an open look, he'll make about 80% of those.
College Player of the Year in '94. First-time All-Star in 2000. Mutombo, the league's leading rebounder, collects the carom on the Weber miss. Stackhouse. Who touched it last? It'll go to the West. They lead it by 2 with 10 minutes left. Payton off to Finley. Michael Finley out of the corner for 3.
He's having a great game today, Michael Finley, in his first All-Star game. You know, it's interesting, Bob, what a compliment for him, too. Only he and Mutombo, they're the only 2 guys here on teams that probably won't be in the playoffs. And to get selected by the coaches, that means you have really had to play very, very well.
They are the only players from teams with losing records at the All-Star break, Mutombo and Finley.
I'm Ahmad Rashad back in Oakland, and I'm here with my main man, Kevin Garnett. First of all, what's this fashion statement with the towel?
You know, it's just one of them cool out joints, man. We just put the towel behind your ears and just cool out.
But now tell me about the game here. Now, it's awful tight.
It's awful tight, but, you know, the West got the big man, yo. You know, Phil's resting us had a good time, and, you know, when he put us in, we're going to go ahead and finish it off.
So now, do you know you've been mic'd the entire game? We've been trying to get some nuggets from you the entire game. Yeah, you haven't said much.
Yeah, I ain't said much. That's good.
Could you help us out a little bit?
Okay, I'll start talking a little bit.
Please. Not trash talking, but just kind of help the viewers at home enjoy the game with you.
Oh, okay. Because I got a couple uncles and stuff walking, so, you know, I'll talk hard.
Please, thank you. Bob?
All right, Ahmad. Time of transition in the NBA. Michael Jordan gone. Charles Barkley gone. Reggie Miller's shot deflected, grabbed by Weber. Olajuwon and Ewing on their way out. Stockton and Malone still All-Stars, but approaching their late 30s. The league belongs to Kevin Garnett, Chris Webber, Grant Hill, Vince Carter, Tim Duncan, Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, Michael Finley, who misses the three. The rebound to Dale Davis. Ray Allen pulls up and misses. Payton to Finley, who got inside Robinson.
Now that was a great pass. Gary Payton just floated that ball out. Instead of trying to throw the lob, he made the pass he would have made it, and he played for a game that mattered. That was a great pass.
Tell you what, you can have a pretty good debate about which Bay Area native, Payton or Kidd, is the NBA's premier point guard right now. Allen lost it to Payton, who dishes to Wallace, who tried to get his clip in the highlight reel and blew the chance. Rasheed Wallace on the deepest team in the league, the Portland Trailblazers. He is their only All-Star.
Well, you know what? They would have guys that could make this All-Star team. You talk about Steve Smith, you talk about Scottie Pippen. If they played 36, 38 minutes, that's a team that's deep, and they're thinking, get through the regular season, get the best record, and if we have to play more minutes come playoff time, we can do that. But, Bob, there's no question. They have guys that can put up numbers that would be All-Stars.
Rasheed Wallace has been blanked in this game. So too is David Robinson, who's played only 7 minutes. Payton for three, and he was fouled.
Number 34, Ray Allen commits his second.
Coming up, the missed lob from Payton to Wallace, and then we'll hear a Kevin Garnett reaction.
The Eastern Conference in the fourth period, number 20, Gary.
Let's go, let's go.
That was it. Oh, that's a tough crowd there, Bob. Don't come anything with weak now. They're going to let you hear about it. You'll hear about that after the game. This guy's got more energy. So you put him, Gary Payton, and some of these guys out on the floor, Jason Kidd. These guys, I think, could play 2 games in a row and not get tired.
All of a sudden, the West is up by 10. Stockton battling Miller for the loose ball. Miller almost winds up in the lap of Bill Russell, and out of respect, he turns to the 11-time champion and says, "Are you okay, Mr. Russell?" Stockton got a hand on it. The West with the steal. Houston breaks it up at the other end.
You know, you talked about Gary Payton and Jason Kidd. Who's the better point guard? The interesting thing, Bob, those guys can play together because Payton is very comfortable playing as an off guard. He's such a good scorer, and he can post up, and they can both handle the basketball, as we know. That would be a tough backcourt if you had those 2 guys together, because they can change off, both playing point or both playing a little bit of 2, because Jason Kidd now actually can make some shots.
It was a close game only moments ago. Now it's the West by 10, 109-99. Ray Allen lost it.
See, and the difference is, you know, we talked about the size, but, you know, the West comes in with Webber, Wallace on the front line. They've got Malone resting. He's only played 3 minutes. Shaq, Garnett, Duncan. The East just doesn't have that depth, and right now they're being worn down inside.
Payton's pass swatted away by Houston. He's got Allen on the wing, but Ray Allen can't hit. His teammate Glenn Robinson can on the follow. John Stockton, who's had a good game in limited minutes, sort of out of place, his style, alongside the general tone of this game. And there's Rasheed Wallace with his first basket.
You know, John Stockton said something yesterday, though, I thought was interesting. He said, you know what, I don't have any problem with young guys being on the All-Star team, playing or whatever. As long as guys have played hard and deserve to be here, I'm all for that. John Stockton's a winner. That's all he's about. See Gary Payton here with this little soft pass, and Allen Houston with the steal. He's going to take the ball to the basket. Nice little dish off to Ray Allen, who missed a tough shot, but his teammate Glenn Robinson with a sensational finish running the floor. That's why you never give up on the play.
Presentation of the All-Star Host City Trophy.
Energy at an all-time high, the Timberwolves are having a howling good time. But can they keep their momentum with the Knicks brilliant at play? Find out on NBA Game of the Week, the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the New York Knicks, Thursday night at 9 o'clock.
The All-Star Fan Patrol.
Now all of a sudden, you know, Bob, it's what we talked about when we opened this game. The first 3 quarters you play, get your guys minutes, make sure you get all these stars an opportunity to play. Put yourself in a position for that last 7 minutes you start coaching to win. You see right here, it's a situation now where both teams are in position to win. The West leads by 9 right now, but the East is close enough to where they can turn this game around with some 3-point shots and some execution.
Tim Duncan over Davis, and again he uses the glass.
And what Phil Jackson had talked about in that timeout, he said they've gone small, meaning they've taken Mutombo out and put Dale Davis in the game, and they really have a very small lineup, trying to get them to force their hand and maybe go small also. Phil will not do that.
20 points now for Tim Duncan. Ray Allen out to Allen Houston. Head fake on Stockton and an attempted 3 that's no good. Allen can't follow, but there was a foul.
Good block, Ray. Number 21, Tim Duncan. It's the second personal, Ray Allen.
The foul was on Kevin Garnett, his third. Ray Allen hits a couple of free throws. 9-point West All-Star lead. They're trying to snap a 3-game losing streak in the midseason classic. Garnett recovers it and gets it to Rasheed Wallace.
Allen Houston was trying to take the foul there, just couldn't get it. Rasheed Wallace finally picks it up, but 3 big guys on that front line right now, all mobile and active and quick. Duncan, Wallace, and Garnett.
I don't know if that was a shot or an attempted pass. And come to think of it, All-Star Classic doesn't quite sound right. It's exciting, it's entertaining, but classic it ain't.
Well, you know, you see guys try to make plays that they would not normally make, and Bob, with that, you go get some sloppiness, some missed plays, and also you get some unbelievable highlights. That's the nature of an All-Star game, as Allen Houston uses his 6'7" height to rise up over the top of Gary Payton.
Payton comes back, tries to score against Houston at the other end. It winds up being a perfect setup for Tim Duncan, who now has 22.
See, that's the difference in the game. When we look back on it, it's just going to be the size of this West front line. The East has just not been able to match it.
Iverson with the crossover, but it won't go down for him. Payton finds Stockton.
John Stockton.
Stackhouse into Iverson. Stockton went for the steal and missed it. Houston misses a 3, and Payton clears the rebound. Inside 5 minutes. Glenn Robinson with the rebound as Payton couldn't hit the 3. Miller out of the corner, and he misses the 3-pointer. Actually, there's been some poor shooting of late on some open jump attempts.
Well, you know, when you're a smaller team, you've got to be able to space the floor and make some 3-point shots. You know, Bob, in the last 4 possessions, Allen Houston's missed 2 threes, and Reggie Miller has missed a 3 there. The East is 5 for 20, and you know that if they're going to win, they have to shoot a high percentage at the free throw line and make some 3-point shots, and they have not been able to do that today.
For John Stockton and Gary Payton.
Stockton and Payton go out. Bryant and Kidd back in for the West. Alonzo Mourning. Shake move on Duncan. Takes him inside and hits the slam.
Alonzo Mourning.
Mourning has 15. 5 rebounds and 3 blocks thrown in. Garnett spins around Houston. Can't hit the reverse. Iverson lays it off to no one in particular. Back comes the West. Who'll do the honors? Jason Kidd, left hand, blocked by Mourning. Garnett is tied up by Alonso, who had no choice.
Number 33.
Gary Payton on the little penetrating dribble here. Allen Houston gives him a little bump, and you see Tim Duncan there with the follow-up. And what does Shaq have to say about this?
Keep it high. Big fundamentals. The big fundamentals.
Well, fundamentals, first of all, would not be the word of the day, and it looked as if Shaq may have been scouting some talent elsewhere on the court toward the end of that particular soundbite. A clinic, this is not. An all-star game, it most definitely is. Garnett has 21 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists.
You know, Bob, the last possession when Allen Iverson was driving the ball down the floor in the fast break, he thought Reggie Miller was going to run for a layup. He got to understand Reggie Miller runs to the three-point line, so he dropped it off, and Reggie was standing at the three instead of going for the layup.
Carter fakes a three, takes a running one-hander, and cans it. And Carter's got a dozen. Kobe Bryant drives on Reggie Miller. Gives it up to Duncan. Mourning got a hand on it. Iverson comes out of the pack with the East steal. And look at Kobe Bryant elevate to knock it down. Meanwhile, Carter's pinning himself on the rim, and the officials let it all go. Iverson gets the bucket. He has 19. Garnett with 24.
21, Kevin Garnett.
He's now the game's high man, but Duncan and Shaq are right behind with 22 each. It spins out for Houston.
He just cannot buy a shot today.
We're in the last 3 minutes. Kidd, big lob. Bryant!
You know, the ball goes up. It's like a feeding frenzy. 3 guys go for the alley-oop. I'm surprised we haven't had any mid-air collision. The guy's knocking himself out.
Like throwing raw meat into a shark pool. Houston testing Garnett. Left hand, no. And a whistle. The officials have been reluctant to stop play, and that's the way it should be in an all-star game, but that was kind of blatant.
Allen Iverson comes down, he says, I'm going to alley-oop this up, and Kobe says, and he just jumps up and snatches it out of the air with his left hand. Mr. Relentless, Allen Iverson gets it back and lays it in against Duncan. And then Kobe with the great play on the break. You're going to see his quickness. He loves that baseline. Here's the alley-oop. Duncan and he both go for it, and Duncan says, I'm getting out of the way because Kobe wants this one. Jason Kidd said, who wants it? Duncan or Kobe? Kobe says, it's my turn this time.
The West leads by 13. It's the biggest lead in the game if anyone is keeping track. This is the NBA All-Star Game on NBC. Let's listen in on Jeff Van Gundy, the East All-Star coach.
Guys like this with Zoe here, and let's try to drive and kick where we have great spacing and make some three. That's the only way we're going to get back in the game. Knock it loose, three-point shot. We'll get to the left.
Jeff's going to turn him loose here now. He's going for the three-point shot. He's going to space. He's only got one big guy on the floor, so, and you've got Houston, Iverson, Eddie Jones, and Carter, the three-point shooters. So if you're the West, you'd have to think, stay on top of those three-point shooters and let your shot blockers guard the basket. We'll see what happens here.
You know, Doug, with this game in the Bay Area, as Allen Houston prepares to shoot free throws, we're reminded of how poorly Golden State has done in recent years, and they don't have an all-star representative. But you think about the NBA heritage here. Wilt played part of his career for the Warriors. Nate Thurmond played almost his entire career for Golden State. Rick Barry, one of the great players in NBA history, and now I think really almost underrated when they click off the names of the greatest stars in NBA history. Chris Mullin was at his best here. The Warriors were once a very proud franchise.
And you know what? Let's hope that they can get it back. This is a very proud franchise. We see Rasheed Wallace going to the basket.
Number 33, Alonzo Mourning. Commits his fourth personal foul.
Folks, I must make a correction because you might be setting your VCRs. The Little Richard story is not Next, it's next Sunday on NBC. Homicide the movie is next on NBC tonight. And a week from tonight, it's the Little Richard story. Good golly, what a mistake. 2:24 left. West by a dozen. Make it 13.
There's the kick and the three, and you see Kobe covers it, forces him to take a tough two, so that's good defense by Kobe Bryant. He didn't let him get the three.
Here's Vince Carter with the steal. Wraps it around and has no one to throw it to except an opposing player. Jason Kidd up high for Rasheed Wallace. Alonzo Mourning contested it. That was a spectacular defensive play.
Well, that's a little bit what Pat Riley talks about. Do you think that in a game like this, Alonzo Mourning is going to give up a basket? Absolutely not. Watch him go up and challenge that shot. That is why he is the leading shot blocker in the NBA. Bob, this is an incredible block because Rasheed Wallace is extended to about 12 feet here. And look at Zoe come over with that relentless energy and that defensive effort that he is so known for.
Rasheed Wallace at the line, how do you evaluate Portland's title chances?
Well, I think that with him, it's going to rise so much on him. And Bob, we talked about him controlling his emotions because he is a terrific talent. And if he will do that, Portland has every opportunity because it looks like they're going to have the best record if they can win with their home-laden schedule here at the end. And there's Rasheed right there in the end. A little bit of the talent that we have seen in the past from him. But Portland has a very favorable home schedule, only 13 road games the rest of the way. The Lakers have 20 road games the rest of the way. Big difference.
Iverson rebounds the missed three by Carter and hits a reverse. Iverson has 21 points to lead the East. Garnett, little flip to Duncan, and Duncan scores. He's got 24. So does Garnett, and Shaq has 22 for the West. Houston's three is there.
How about that textbook jump shot by Allen Houston, pulling up and shooting that three? What a marvelous jump shooter. Just has not shot it well today.
Kobe Bryant into the lane against the smaller Iverson to put two more on the board for the West. 134 to 121. Iverson blows by Kidd, and although Duncan came over to contest it, the answer scores once more. Last 45 seconds. Garnett up and under. Duncan circles back out. The ball never hit the rim. The shot clock is still ticking. 5 seconds to shoot. Kidd will. And he drains a three. He's got 11 to go with 14 assists. Iverson. Wouldn't you know it, he's now the game's high scorer. He's got 26.
You know, Bob, as we get ready to finish this game, the second half of this season, and although it's past the halfway point, should be very exciting. A lot of things for us to keep our eye on. The East is going to be wide open. You've got injuries. You've got teams that have been struggling to win on the road. Indiana, who's unbeatable at home. The West, who's going to get the top seeds. A lot of wonderful things to look forward to on NBC here coming up over the next couple months.
Vince Carter could have a dunk to end it. Has to shoot it from behind the glass. It would have been appropriate considering what he did last night if the game could have ended with a Carter dunk. But I think we had more than enough entertainment, didn't we?
Well, I said 150, 137. We weren't too far off.
We don't yet know who the MVP is.
I think three candidates you have to talk about the front line. You've got Duncan, you've got Garnett, O'Neal. Those three guys jump out. Jason Kidd with his assists, but I think one of those three big guys are going to get the award.
And so we'll have the MVP presentation coming up shortly. Meantime, we check with Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much. I'm here with Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq, as you accept the congratulations. How did you evaluate your performance today? It seemed as though you were on a mission out here.
Well, we just wanted to come out and play well, and I did that. My guys were looking for me. I just wanted to have fun.
Do you feel as though you earned your MVP award?
No, it doesn't matter. I just came out to have fun. So, it really doesn't matter.
How intense was it? It seemed like it was a typical playground game, but in the fourth quarter, did the guys kind of turn it up to try and win? It was competitive almost up until then.
Yeah, it was a typical playground game. We just wanted to give the fans a good show, a lot of live, a real good time.
Did you have fun?
Of course I did.
Congratulations. All right, back to you, Bob.
Okay, we await the selection of the MVP. We'll have it when we come back to Oakland, where the West has won the 49th All-Star Game, 137-126. Back after this.
It is now time for the presentation of the NBA All-Star 2000 MVP Award. To make that presentation, here's the Commissioner of the NBA, David Stern.
First of all, thank you, Golden State, for being a great host for this wonderful All-Star Game. It's great to be back. We've had a great weekend. You saw our new generation of stars in the rookie game, the two ball. You saw our three-point shot, and you saw our new slam dunk champion. You saw our wonderful stars. And I'm delighted to be here to present only one trophy. No matter how long I talk, we can't get the second one here fast enough. And so I'd like to say that we've had a great game today. What an extraordinary showing. And the co-MVPs of the 2000 All-Star Game are Tim Duncan and Shaquille O'Neal. Congratulations, and share the trophy.
What is playing a game like this with all your peers, all the stars? It's got to make it feel good to play in an all-star game.
Oh, it's great. Come out here and play with these guys. It's so much fun. You just run up and down and see what happens.
And Shaq, for you, you guys are MVPs. You go down in the history of the NBA, some of the great names. That's got to make you feel good.
Yeah, I'm just glad to be here with all the other great players, and we had a good time today.
So now who gets to take the trophy home?
He got one of those rings, so I'm taking this.
This is a wonderful situation. We will see you guys battling throughout the season and probably on into the playoffs. Congratulations to both of you.